Hi, I'm John Cox. I'm the owner of Quercus Cooperage. The history here in the Catskills of coopering is amazing. The European settlers come over here and they find woodlands like they've never seen before. As New York City is becoming a larger and larger city, the resources needed to build that were all right here in the Catskills. From the wood to build the buildings, to the cement that made the foundations. All that cement was shipped down the Hudson in a small paper-lined barrel. Without those barrels, they could make cement all day, but they couldn't ship it to the city. I'm a wet cooper, meaning that I'm holding liquid. And the only way you can do that, and the only wood you can use, is using white oak. These barrels can be made out of different types of woods, but it's only white oak that has the cell structure to hold liquid. So I was really lucky. I found this museum in Ottawa, Canada, that was deassessing their collection, and I bought a large variety of cooper's tools, actual tools that had been used probably by Ottawans. So this was my apprenticeship, to figure out how to get a woodworking machine to do exactly what this tool did every day. It was just a fascinating look on how things were made in the 18th and 19th century. Very sharp, very hard steel. Beautiful tools. I joke that we're like Jedi because we use the Force. There's no glue and no screws. Yeah, when we started, other cooperages had like 18-month lead time. So if you were a distillery and you didn't have a relationship with a cooperage, you were going to be waiting a long time. We're known as a boutique cooperage, and there's about 3 or 4 other cooperages in the country like my size. And I'm fortunate that I have a client who doesn't mind paying for that extra handmade work. Hey Steve.
Hey, how you doing, John?
Good.
Good to see you.
Another
Another barrel?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Cranking them out, yeah.
That's like barrel number 100 or so.
Yeah, we're close to number 100. Yeah.
That's nice. My name is Steve Osborne. My wife Kim Wagner and I started Stout Ridge Vineyard 13 years ago as a craft winery. You just can't get any barrel maker because you're going to get staves from who knows, Missouri or Arkansas. You're never really going to know where the wood came from. So there's this guy Angus MacDonald who was a distiller in the area. I think his grandfather worked in Scotland, his father worked in Canada as distillers, so he was imbued with distilling. But he even knew the craftsmen that I needed to create the spirits that I wanted to make. So John was the guy that he said, this is the guy that should build your barrels for you. And then he told me he's using New York State grown oak. That was very important because very few people are doing that. And he's a craftsman, and he's you know, let's do it.
So I think it's part of our toasting process. It's very pure, along with the charring process that's adding a freshness, a flavor that Steve can see and taste.
Yeah. So these three whiskeys that I have here on the counter are the ones made using John's barrels. So cheers, John. Cheers to whiskey.
I just taste my mouth.
It's like cinnamon and sugar and
so good. The river has a rich history, not only as a superhighway bringing industry down from upstate to New York City, but also along the river. Thanks to this Hudson, this was a major superhighway. We had flour coming from Rochester, New York. We had cement coming from Rosendale. Oh, look. We had oysters coming from the Chesapeake Bay being shipped up here. And salted fish and apples and corn. And today we use the cardboard box, but then the cardboard box was a wooden barrel. After we char the barrel, this is what gives whiskey its color. If it wasn't for a charred barrel, it would look like vodka or gin. When the whiskey goes into the barrel, it's clear. It's only due to the charring process that the color is added. Well, in 1935, the Coopers Union, seeing their industry atrophying, they lobbied Congress to include a line that said it must be aged in a new, charred oak barrel. I always loved the history of the area, and I loved finding out about it, and learning about the barrels and the people connected to that just added a whole nother layer to it that was fascinating. And I'm really honored to be part of a trade and such a small group of workers. The barrel is many systems coming together. We're aging the wood, we're milling it, we're bending steel. The barrel has no glue, no nails, no screws. It's just wood, steel bands, and a handful of rivets. Yeah, and now here I am. It's the 21st century. We're making barrels and shipping whiskey down to New York City, albeit in trucks. But we really tapped into the local history, and I feel very close to the Coopers and the other men who worked in this area and built barrels.